special day. Today, our legend is reborn. You've been waiting for this, and first of all, I would like to say thank you to all of you. And let's start our event with a small video, a short video, just to introduce Huawei. Thank you.
Life is up, life is down. So thanks for being there. Life is colorful, rough and smooth. So thanks for dreaming big. Life is fun, amazing, inspiring. So thanks for the laughter and tears. It's all about you, me, them, and us. Life is a beautiful journey.
Thanks to the wonderful you, because Huawei is a story about you. I'm pleased to introduce our new country director, Mr. William Chu.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. You're most welcome and glad to see you here to attend our P50 launch event. After 2 years. Today my topic is Together, Better Together 2022. In last 2 years, we faced a lot of challenge. Not only us, globally. And most of the customers to have comments about how is the Huawei phone. Today we try to answer. So my name is William. And you here, just here 1 month, less than 1 month actually. And when I with the customers, most of the customers will ask me the 2 questions. The first one, how is your feeling about Mauritius? First one. Actually, this is the first time I've been here. It surprised me a lot. I don't know how is your feeling about here. Maybe let's share my opinion is every view, everything I see is like a photo, like a picture. Too much beautiful here, too much. Maybe for you it's random, but you should know for you, but like me, it's special, much more special. So I'm thinking, first thinking is here, like what you need for Mauritius customers. They need 1 camera. Now we have the phone with the best camera. Second question, our customer asked, did Huawei still use Android? How come? Android is open source. Of course. But how is the Huawei phone? How is the Huawei in last 2 years? For this presentation, I try to show you. This is the Huawei. See, our long-term version is built a fully connected, intelligent world. How can we do? We have 4 business groups. Consumer business group is my responsibility. Mauritius only. Carrier business, we have the carrier business group for operators like Marti and Tel. We have the enterprise business. We work with government, the big enterprise, the company, like smart city, like build their cloud and system. We have the cloud business, focus on AI, focus on cloud, focus on the future technologies. And we have 194 employees and 49 of employees work in global research and development. We have 40 research centers and 54% is local employee. That's why we have the confidence to tell all our customers our version, our ambition is to build fully connected and intelligent world. Let's focus on Huawei. How is Huawei in 2021? As I said, yes, challenge is there, but we're still strong. We just published our annual finance report yesterday, globally. So for all our business group, we sold 90 billion USD, 90 billion USD. For consumer business, we sold 38 billion USD. How is our awareness? Thanks to someone more famous, president of some countries. Huawei global awareness is very small, 98%. It means if you ask 100 customers, like, do you know Huawei? 98 customers will tell you, yes, I know Huawei. For increase, wearable, 42%, TWS, the earbud, 35%, tablet, 50%, PC, 144%. All increased. This is the brand value. So more than millions company globally. See, where is our position? From BCE, we are number 8. From 14, we are 44. From the brand deal, we are 50. Not 50, global top 50. How about the premium model? Today we launched P50, but see our P50 Pocket. For Mate 40 series, we sold 10 million units. In last year, P50 series, we sold P50. We already launched in some countries, Chinese and GCC countries. 87,000 units already sold. Fold phone, we have the fold phone. Even P50 Pocket is a fold phone. This is the future. This is the trend for fold phone. We have 1 million, already sold 1 million units. Mate 40 RS, we already sold. This is a Porsche design. We sold 1 million units already. So it means we are not like a small brand. We are a big brand and always focus on the premium. We have premium the models to show our customers. So this is titled on, like we use the Huawei, the Huawei phone is HMS. We use HMS phone. So how is HMS performance? You can see our ecosystem. 5.4 million, 580 million for monthly active. 187,000 global apps integrated with whole HMS core. I will explain how is HMS core later. 432 billion download from AG, the app gallery. Apps downloaded from Huawei app gallery, the same as Google Play. 45% the AG awareness. It means if you ask the same, the awareness of our app gallery, like the same as Google Play, Apple Store. Download apps from our Huawei phone is from Huawei app gallery. This is for last year. Like we just want to show you how is the performance of Huawei, the sales revenue, the brand value, and also how is our premium model sales. This is the future. Like how is the strategy for coming year, maybe the coming many years. For consumer business, we will focus on the 6 categories. First one, we have smartphone. Like today we launched the premium phone, P50, P50 Pocket. Now, after that, we have non-smartphone. We have PC, tablet, the monitor, watch version. So many products we have. It's like built one Huawei product family. We have harmony system, not for phone. For watch, we have harmony system. For the tablet, for PC we don't have now. For even the car, for smart home, we have the harmony system work with so many brands. For the home appliance, this is one advantage for our harmony system. The B2B business and the smart home solution and car solution. Smart home we already launched in China. Like maybe later on you can experience how is the smart home. All the smart home is managed by Huawei ecosystem. See how many products, just one short video, you can see how many products we have. This video name is Perfect Match. Perfect Match. We have so many products from the PC, tablet, TV, wearable, and IoT and audio. How to manage so many products together? Ecosystem and scenarios. We focus on 5 scenarios: smart home, entertainment, smart office, easy travel, and fitness and healthy. All these scenarios will managed by our ecosystem. They are seamless connection. Like you use the watch, it's easy to connect with all the data can share to your phone. Our PC, tablet, mobile are easy to share data to each other. Like smart office, we PC, tablet, and even we have the monitor. For output input, it's easy to connection. If you experience later. If you want to share file, just simple, more simple. Entertainment, we have so many. We have phone, TWS, trying to build one entertainment system for you. All the data can share each other. Fitness, healthy, so many watches, and the data will be managed by our one apps named Huawei Healthy. We keep investment. This is the product, but for all this scenario where we display, of course, the shop. You can see we opened one shop, 1,600 square meter, one shop in Saudi Arabia. Just last February, we opened the shop there. So we also keep investment in the market to show customers our ecosystem, our product, our scenario display. Hope today we are discussed about the P50, but if you're interested, you are most welcome to visit the shop to experience our product families. So for ecosystem, this is another question I try to answer. This is easy to understand. When you talk about how do you have the Google, we ask you, Apple have Google or not? No. Apple have Android or not? No. So why Huawei should have? The most common is where you download the apps, and the apps can be used in Huawei phone or not. My answer is yes. So this is you download from. We give you 3 solutions. One is App Gallery, Pattern Search, and Phone Clone. See, this is our app list. Top globally on board apps. We have around 80,000 or 187,000. Top 3,000 on board. Already published in Huawei App Gallery, 2,760. For Middle East and Africa, top 300, we now published 287. That means almost 99%. See, for merchants, you can see this all the local apps you can find out from the App Gallery and Pattern Search. You can use in our phone. This is our global developers. Like we need the developer work with Huawei to develop the apps published in Huawei App Gallery. So this is a developer. We just 38,400. Weekly active developer is 70,000. So this is for the foundation of Huawei capabilities. This is Pattern Search. We give you 2 solutions. One is, as I said, App Gallery. You find the app from there. Then Pattern Search. For Pattern Map, I use a Pattern Map. Drive from my office to here. Well, most likely you can download and experience how is the Huawei Pattern Map. This is the Pattern 1. We try to build all in one place. Like you have Huawei Music, Huawei Game, Huawei App Gallery. Even we have Me Time. You can like for meeting or the same as Zoom. Just to give you the short case. See, this is WhatsApp. How do you download? Just you Pattern search WhatsApp, then you can see. You can use WhatsApp. The YouTube, use our quick app. Gmail, use Huawei Mail. Just log in your ID. Use Gmail. Experience your Gmail account. Snapchat, Netflix, the same. Just download and you use it. TikTok. Pad Map, and also Google Map. If you need Google Map, you can download and use it. Korea and Uber, No and Amazon. This is the game, PUBG and Mobile Legends. So this is we trying to answer you like the two questions. Like the first one is how is I feeling? Even actually I driving from our office to here. I want to parking here the road to use my phone, take a camera because too much beautiful. So I hope after this meeting you can experience how is our phone, even one of our VIPs that we experienced is about our phone. So this is the first. Second thing is I can't answer how is Huawei phone. Huawei phone. You can see Huawei is still stable and strong, and the Huawei phone, the best experience. Huawei phone still here, and also you have the same experience with Huawei HMS call. Okay, thank you all, and better together 2022.
I'd like to introduce Ahmed, who will go into details on the P50 series. Thank you, Ahmed.
Alright, so let's go first to the P series. What the P series represents to Huawei. P stands for photography or photos, right? And the P series usually is focused on the camera technology, bringing the technology of the smartphone in the camera perspective always forward. Okay, if we have a look at the history of the P series, you will see like the P9, for example, was the first device to come with dual camera in the P series. The P10, it was the first device to come with the depth camera to blur the background to give you portrait professional shots. P20, it was the first device to use the AI technology in photos. And P30, it was the first device to use the periscope, the high zoom range. And you have the P50 Pro, which we introduced the Huawei XD optics. So this is the next chapter in the P series, which is the P50 Pro. The P50 Pro, here we call it Legend Reborn, because we always introduce the best camera technology in the industry for smartphones, and we continue to improve this camera technology with the P50 Pro. So first, when you look at the P50 Pro, the first thing that you will notice is the two rings of the camera here, right? We call it the dual matrix camera. Why we call it the dual matrix camera? Because you have the first ring here has the three main cameras, which the ultra wide, the monochrome, and the main sensor. And the second ring has the zoom camera, the laser autofocus, and the flash. The display. So the display is the first thing that you usually look at when you use your smartphone, right? And you will hear us talking a lot today about the term chroma. Chroma in Latin means the intensity and the purity of colors, right? And the P50 Pro, the P50 series, it's all about colors. It's all about natural colors, true to life, what your eyes would see, right? And that's what differs the P50 series from other flagships, because it captures natural colors. And here the display, it's 10-bit colors. It has 10-bit colors, which means usually a traditional display will have a 16 billion color. Here we have 1 billion colors, which means true colors. It's 6.6-inch OLED, it's curved display, right? So it has a really beautiful immersive experience when you're using it, and also it's 120 Hertz. 120 Hertz meaning that it will give you really smooth experience in scrolling, just moving between the menus. Any animation on the screen, even gaming, you will get really nice, smooth experience. The phone itself also, it's curved from the back and the front the same way, so it has like a comfortable feel when you hold it. So it has a 6.6-inch display, it's a big display, but when you hold it in your hand, it doesn't actually feel like a big phone. Why? Because most of the front of the phone is actually used for the display, for really high screen to body ratio with 8.5 millimeters, so it feels really comfortable to hold it in your hand. 66-watt charger. The charging technology here is one of the fastest in the industry. So you can take the phone from 0 to 100% in less than 45 minutes. So let's say, for example, it happens to all of us. We wake up late, we need to move, right? Your phone maybe is like 5%, it happens. And just keep it on for 10-15 minutes, you get more than 45%. That's beautiful, and it's really practical. IP68, so water and dust resistant. So we're talking about fresh water. And it comes in two beautiful colors, the gold one. I'm sure you will see it in the experience area after the presentation. And also black with a gold accent. So each has his own. If you prefer something subtle, so the black. If you want something that has a funky look to it, if I might say, it would be the gold. Now let's talk about the camera, right? Because we're all here to talk about the P series. So the P series usually brings the latest technology in camera. So we're focusing here in multiple areas when we're talking about the camera technology. So we're talking about something called XT Fusion, which I will show you some examples in a bit. A periscope lens, which is the zoom lens, color science, which is a huge part of the camera here. Color science, as I told you, the chroma, so true colors, natural colors. So here we will cover the distance, right? The light and shade, transcendence color, and the time before the focus. Now this, as I explained to you, the dual metrics of the camera, so two rings, has all the four cameras. These cameras works with each other on what we call Huawei optics. So the main sensor is 50 megapixel. Then you have 64 megapixel for zoom, 40 megapixel camera, which is monochrome, black and white. So this black and white, you can use it to take some black and white shots. We have some black and white shots here around taken on the P50 Pro. And also it works with the main sensor to capture more details. Because the black and white camera usually, or the black and white sensor, capture more on the highlights, the shadows and the highlights. So it will capture more details, and the main sensor will capture the color. And that's what Huawei XD optics does. So this is the Huawei XD optics. It's an image process technology that is used in Huawei phones. Basically what it does, that all the cameras work with each other. So when I get my phone out and I try to take a photo, it doesn't, it's not only the main sensor that is working, also the monochrome sensor is working to take a different shot. And what Huawei XD optics as a technology does, it merges the same frame from multiple cameras, from multiple angles, to give you the best shot possible in terms of details, in terms of colors, in terms of brightness. So the Huawei optics is actually a technology to always give you the best photo using all the camera sensor that you have on your phone. This is an example here of a shot taken in Botswana. And as you can see, if you zoom on the face of the elephant, you will see the details even though it is taken from far. Here is the zoom range. So the P50 Pro can go up to 100x digital zoom and 3.5 times optical zoom. So here is comparing the moon all the way wide angle, all the way to 100x. Also, when we talk about chroma, we talk about the color, right? As you can see, the Huawei optics take the image with different colors from two different sensors, right? The monochrome and the main sensor, and merge it together to give you the best results. As you can see here, you see the sky outside properly, and you can see still the face of the girl. So usually when you are against the light, either you will see the face of the person and everything around them is bright, or you will see the face of the person dark to be able to see what's outside. And that's what we call here XD fusion or HDR effect. So taking a photo from a different exposure to just give you properly exposed shot, you can see the face of the person and also you can see what's around them even if it's too bright. Here, this is the exact reverse. It's a photo in a very low light situation. So it's 0.5 lux, which means it's very low light. And compared to the competition, you will see the details on the flower, while here it's completely blurred. XD fusion also in sightseeing or like in nature shots, either most of the time, if you're taking a photo, you will have to have an exposure like that, focusing only maybe on the field or on the sky or here in the sea. So XD fusion here will take multiple shots, as you can see, multiple shots with different exposure. One is too dark, one is too bright, and 3 in between to give you a result like this. So you can see the field properly, and you can see still the sea and the sky. While if we compare it here to the competition, you will see the difference using XD fusion. This is another example. The animal, the deer here, is against the sun. So the deer here is behind the shadow that the tree is provided. But if we look at the face, it's maybe a little dark here, you will see the eye of the deer even though it is really dark here. The colors, and here the colors are improved again, like compared to last generation, which is the P40 series, by more than 400%. So we'll see some shots here. So the one in the middle here, you will see the scenario which is taken by a professional camera, right? Compared to the competition, you see the colors are more true to life, what your eyes usually would see. It's not oversaturated and it's not undersaturated. It's not really vivid, right? And it's not also washed out. Here there's some shots from the monochrome. So if you're trying to take cinematic artistic shots with the black and white camera, you can do that, right? So these are some shots taken by the monochrome camera or the black and white camera. And here, this is the focus system, how fast the P50 Pro can focus. We all come through a situation, for example, if shooting your, taking a photo of your cat or your dog, right? They move too much. Or even toddlers, you know, like trying to take a shot of your 2 years old. I had this problem myself. My son is now 4 years old. He is more calm, he can sit in one place. But before that, like when he moves too much, I'm trying to take a photo of him. It's always blurry. Why? Because the camera needs some time to focus. The shot is not instantaneous, right? So here we're doing a comparison between the competition. And as you can see here, these are the 3 shots from P50 Pro and the competition. If we zoom on it a little, you will see the P50 Pro. You can see the details of the sword, even though it is very thin. Here, it's blurred, and here it's the shot is missed completely. So this is how fast the P50 Pro can focus. Now in the front camera, we have 13 megapixel, which is ultra-wide camera. Now, this is unusual to have a selfie camera which is ultra wide that you can swap between different focal length. And here, as you can see in the middle, makeup, so because it's ultra wide, so you can get really near to the camera to take photos with the subject is very near to the camera, right? So this is some photos taken by the selfie camera on the P50 Pro. And group shots, of course, because you have ultra wide angle camera, so now we can take selfie, we can fit more people in the same shot without having to put the camera very far from us. Videos capability, so you can shoot 4K videos in 60 FPS. You can take 960 FPS slow motion, time lapse, and all this can be done with the camera of the P50 Pro. Super device, I think William introduced to you the super device and what we can do with Huawei ecosystem. That now if you have more than one Huawei device, these devices can work with each other regardless of the operating system. Let's say you have a Huawei laptop, right? It uses Windows 10 or Windows 11, right? And you have a Huawei smartphone, which is using EMUI 12. These are two different operating systems, but even though there are two different operating systems, I can connect my phone to my PC, and I can transfer files without any cables, just by drag and drop. I can get the phone screen casted on my laptop screen, and I can just drag and drop from the phone to the PC and from the PC to the phone. This is something also we will try to let you experience after the session, which is quite interesting if you have 2 or more Huawei devices, and that's what we call super device, the Huawei ecosystem. As you can see here, you can see the screen of the phone, opening the gallery of the phone on the PC, and just drag and drop files between the PC and the phone. So this is basically it. If we recap everything about the P50 Pro, so the true chroma camera, the beautiful 6.6-inch OLED display, one of the fastest charging technology in the market, the 66 watt, and of course the beautiful design with the curved edge back and front. So that's the second device I'll introduce to you today, which is the P50 Pocket. I think the P50 Pocket is the most premium smartphone that we introduced in the market here in Mauritius for many reasons. We all remember the foldable, the fold phone, or the flip phone we had in the past. So now we're doing the best of both worlds, right? A small phone that can flip, like can fold in each other, but at the same time it has a huge screen when you open it. So Huawei P50 Pocket comes in two versions. We'll talk about the two versions in a bit. So as you can see, when it is folded, it's really small, it's really compact. That's why we're calling it Pocket. And the coating on the hinge, it's made of carbon-like materials, so it is shiny, but also it is scratch resistant to look elegant all the time as long as you keep the phone. Here, when you open the phone, we will see the phone here in a bit in the experience area. It opens completely flat, so the hinge doesn't have any spaces when it's open and when it's closed. And it's very slim when you open it. It's only 7.2 millimeter, which means like it's really slim phone when it opens. It's easy to carry. The display here also true chroma. So we talk about the chroma for the P50 Pro, so true colors, right? 6.9. Imagine that's almost 7-inch on a smartphone. So a few years back, we used to think 7-inch, that's a tablet, right? But you can fit that in a small phone that you can fit easily in your pocket. The camera here, we have triple AI cameras at the back. And also we have the cover screen, which is a small screen outside. So this screen, when the phone is closed, you can use the back camera to take something like selfie. So you just scroll through the widgets and you will get the camera. When the phone is closed, you can use the back camera to take selfies using the small screen. We have two versions of here, the regular version and the premium edition, which as you can see, it's very elegant. It looks actually like a piece of jewelry, so it looks very elegant and unique. So the premium edition here is designed by a fashion designer. It's called Iris van Herpen. She's a Dutch designer, and she likes to mix technology with fashion. So all her designs, you can Google her name. She likes to mix technology with fashion, and that's the result here that we got from this design, the premium edition. So for both of them has like a texture to it. So you're holding it in your hand when it's closed. It has the diamond texture on the white, and on the gold one, you have like the kind of texture that inspired by this fashion designer. The camera here also using the Huawei XD optics, same as P40 Pro, to get all the sensors to work with each other to get you the best image possible all the time. This is the screen, right? The screen outside. So the screen can be customized, right? You can use themes to match the theme that you have on your screen. You can choose widgets. So these are the themes here. You can put some animated ones. And you can put widgets to see, for example, the music player, the camera, the weather, just by swiping around them. These here are the different applications you can have on the cover screen. So this is the P50 Pocket. It comes in two versions, as I mentioned. The regular version comes with 8 GB of RAM and 256 GB of storage. And the highest version, or the premium edition, comes with 12 GB of RAM and 512 GB of internal storage. So now that's the part where we introduce the products. We will talk a little about the photos that is taken by the P50 Pro. I'll leave the mic to Joel. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Ahmed. We've been through the presentation of the P50 Pro and the P50 Pocket, but now let's have a local perspective of the P50 Pro.
once again and taken smartphone imaging to new heights with their flagship Huawei P50 Pro. The image sharpness and comprehensive detail from its 50 megapixel rear camera sensor, that really blew me away. Also, having dedicated lenses and separate image sensors for both monochrome and different angles of view, such as telephoto and wide angle, this has superior advantages as the results are optical rather than digital. Now, let's talk about colors. As a photographer, I generally aim to reproduce true colors of most of the scenes that I shoot. And this is exactly what is achieved with the Huawei P50 Pro's imaging technology. Part of my job as a photographer is often shooting portraits. I shoot lots of portraits, and most in this trade agree that one of the best ways to make your subject really stand out is through a shallow depth of field and creating that beautiful bokeh behind the person that you are shooting. Most technically great images have details in the important bits, such as the bright highlights and then those dark shadow areas. Well, with Huawei P50 Pro's increased dynamic range, you don't have to worry about those dark faces when shooting with the sun behind the subject. It's all there. A well-lit face, the color blue in the sky, and possibly even some clouds. Finally, I could talk for hours and hours on the incredible imaging capabilities of Huawei's P50 Pro, but I will just sum up and say that this smartphone is my number one go-to choice when on holiday or even in the home of the family, and I just get the urge to be creative with my pictures and really don't feel like picking up my heavy and cumbersome DSLR.
Thank you, Anna and Isha, for being so wonderful on these pictures and live for our guests tonight. I would like to introduce Mr. Guilherme to talk about his wonderful pictures and how he really appreciated using the P50 Pro during this shoot.
Thanks, Joel. Good evening all of you. Yes. Well, first of all, I was super well impressed with the quality of the camera, the quality of the images that the camera produced. I would say what struck me first of all was after the first shot, I started to zoom in just to have a look at the details, and generally you zoom into images on your phone and almost immediately you start to notice the loss of quality. Well, that wasn't the case. I kept zooming in, and the quality was always there. So let's take this image here, for example. Can I grab that from you, if you don't mind? So with this image, what I wanted to show first was the dynamic range of the image and the capabilities of the camera. I wanted to showcase that we could get as much detail as possible in the extremely bright areas and in extremely dark areas. And the phone really managed to gather all that information without going into any extra settings, which is the auto settings. There was got a lot of blue color in the sky, which was extremely bright. The highlights around the hair, the halo around the hair, all the detail is still there in the hair. And of course the shadows. You've got shadow detailed in the dress it's all there, and that really amazed me. If we look at some of the images, this was a close-up shot of the eye. I wanted to really see the effect of the high resolution, and there it is. Look at that, all the pores of the skin. You can clearly see that, the eyelashes. So that was fantastic. And let me add as well that this image was cropped. In this particular framing, you could see a bit of the mouth, the second eye, so I had to crop that in, and you can still very clearly see that high resolution. So I was really pleasantly surprised about that. This one, I wanted to focus on the colors. I wanted to focus on the greens, the lively greens, that deep blue, which was as the sky was on that day. Generally, when we look at the sky with our eyes, we see that. We see those blues, we see those greens, and often when taking pictures, we lose that a bit. So, you know, in the post-processing, we have to go and push the colors up a little bit, push the blues, the greens, and this was pretty much straight out of the camera. I didn't touch it up a lot, a bit of cropping, a little bit of highlights recovery, shadow recovery, but the colors was the most important, and I managed to pull that through. Here we go, once again, showcasing the colors, the punchy red. That's what I saw straight away when she was wearing those shoes, was that punchy red. So I wanted to show that. Yeah, this is the black and white, the monochrome, the dedicated monochrome sensor and its lens. Generally, I take color pictures and then convert them into black and white, but this time with the phone, I put it on the monochrome setting, and this was the result. I was blown away. I really was blown away. Again, we've got details. Excuse me. Details there. No, not that one. There we go. Details there in the shadow. Very, very dark interior of the car. We've got this bright. This was a white wall, so there would be no detail, but you've got very bright leaves behind. So we've got all that. We still got all that, and we've got this beautiful black and white feel, which obviously gives it its own mood, its own feel, as most black and white images do. This was playing around with the aperture setting and just creating that shallow depth of field and giving us that beautiful soft bokeh. Like I mentioned in the videos, you can really bring out the subject, and the subject can really stand out. Again, I often like to use this in shooting portraits. And one of the things that impressed me with creating this bokeh was the outline. So the outline of the hair, often you tend to lose that. The software sometimes doesn't know where it stops, where it ends, and it's really done a fantastic job. It's kept the outline true, and you can see the strands of the hair, so a really, really fantastic job there. Again, mentioning the details everywhere, they were a bit bright, they were lit up, but this wasn't. This was just natural ambient light, so a lot of detail there. So really, really, really fantastic. And I think this is the last image, and with this particular image, I wanted to show the wide angle of the lens. Now, this hotel entrance, or lobby, or what you want to call it, the ceiling was very, very high, and I saw all this detail, all these lines, these graphic lines, and I wanted to show that, just to put the girls into some perspective, give it a bit of context. But of course, the girls were the main subject, so I tried to incorporate all of that together. So I turned it into the wide angle, and this is the shot that I got. And yeah, not much distortion, which you often get with wide angle lenses. So yeah, I was very pleasantly surprised, and this is great phone, particularly obviously with its imaging capabilities. Yeah, I think that's that's the last image we have.
Thank you, Guilherme, our local photographer, professional photographer. It was nice also to have a point of view of a professional photographer, just to show that how easy it was, because he was not carrying his photographic set, but just a phone in his pocket. So thank you for that.